Right. The first thing that we have to study today is about the activity 2.1. So list 5 tasks performed by the operating system. List 5 tasks performed by the. All right, it's okay. So Minulya, so it will be a repeat lesson for you, but don't worry, because the advantage is anyway next week most probably you will be having your term tests, right? So this will be a revision for you. Okay, so list 5 tasks performed by the operating system. Can you tell me, so what is operating system? What kind of software that is? Operating system? What kind of software? Is it a system software or application software? Okay, Minulya, now you can reply. Is it a system software or application software? Operating system. So what's the difference between these two kinds of software? System and application? Minulya? Okay. Leon sir, can you tell what is the difference between system software and application software? Right. Tania, what is the difference between system software and application software? That's a basic difference. What is that? Tania? Okay, Yenoki. So what is the difference between system software and application software? Come on. Yes, I got a chat. Application software means the term app, and system software means not just that. So okay, you can write down over there. I think better you write down. So please write before the topic. Sorry, not before actually. Please write that after the topic. What is this? Okay, so write down the heading operating system. Write down the heading operating system. Under that you write. Under that you can write under operating systems, you can write this sentence. Operating system is categorized under system software category. Operating system is categorized under system software category. System software works with hardware directly. It controls, manages, and communicates with hardware components. So please write. It controls, manages, and communicates with hardware components. In addition to operating systems, system utilities, drivers, and program translators are also considered as system software programs. Also considered as system software programs. Please write down this. Okay, so I didn't get it. Yeah.
Now it's okay, sir.
All right, okay. Okay, Senolia, yes, all the best. Very good. So you got 80 for the school examination, and next time you can try for 100, right? Not 80s. So what do you think? Is it easy or difficult, Senolia? Easy or difficult? The paper? I think it is easy, no? Seems. So how about the others? Are they also good?
Our exam didn't start.
You say exam didn't started yet. Right?
We had our exams.
Oh, right. So most of you got very good marks. Good. Yenuki, yes, very good. So let's have our exams, or maybe, so most probably our term test examination will be there next week. But so not that all are MCQ questions, right? All are MCQ based questions. So that will be easy one. That is topic to think. You have to just mark the answer. And there are some activities like find the matching pair and fill in the blanks. Those kind of activities will be there. And there's a small practical test after that. That will be after the new year. So you will be given marks out of 50 for the theory paper. And practical one, again, you will get out of 50, you will get marks. So those marks will be added to get the final marks and will be released on end of the April. So that is the plan. So not next week. Next week we are having the classes. Week after next week, we are having 1 week leave for New Year. But next week you are having classes, right? Don't mix next week. You are having the classes. And immediately after the next week class, you will be having the examination. That is MCQ1 for the first paper. Paper 2 will be after the examination. It is the practical one. Okay. So finish writing down this. The topic is operating system. Okay. Topic is operating systems. And the next one that you should know. So what is okay? Now you know what is system software. So what is application software? What is application software? Okay, so if you don't know, please write down. Application software is a category of software programs which is used for various user needs, such as watching movies, playing games, editing pictures, sounds and media, editing pictures, sounds and media, playing music, editing documents, etc. Example, MS Word, Audacity, PowerPoint, Movie Maker, VLC Media Player, Mozilla Firefox. So those are some examples for applications. Those are used for user.
Should be, sir, it should be PowerPoint.
Oh.
You have...
Yeah, PowerPoint. R is missing. Mozilla Firefox, like that. Okay. Thank you. So I think now you know the difference between these two categories of application software and system software, and we can move to the. Yes, after that, we can move to the lesson. Bye. Finish writing?
No
Yes, sir.
I'll give you 1 more minute, right?
activities.
Yes, it manage input, output, processing activities, it control the other programs, it controls the users, control the hardware, control the memories, network, users. So anyway, all the management tasks is done by the operating system. So please write. So these are the possibilities. These are the tasks by operating system. It manage devices or hardware, process, manage users, manage network, manage files. So these are the tasks done by the computer. It is called resource manager. Commonly, it is called a resource manager. So I'll put that point here. More commonly, it is called a resource manager. More commonly, it is called a resource manager, that is operating system. And actually, the operating system is the middleman or the middle person in between the user and the computer hardware. Okay, please finish writing this, then I'll explain what is that. What is this middleman activity? The extra point is it is working as a middleman between user and hardware. By providing a user interface. Providing a user interface. It hides the internal complexity of hardware components. It hides the internal complexity of hardware components, a very important point. It works as a middleman and it hides the internal complexity. So why? So what's really happening? Why it hides the internal complexity? What happens when you save a file?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Do we have to write that extra point
Yeah,
in the
extra point,
workbook?
that is very important. The extra point is
Okay, sir.
very important. Yeah.
In the workbook or in the writing?
No. It's better you write down, don't write down anything in the workbook because you are going to do the workbook in your school. So you have to keep a separate book to write down these things, right? So workbook or separate, maybe use separate
Yes,
section
sir.
of the book to write down.
Sir, can we write down it in the writing book?
Yeah, it's okay. No issue. Okay, so Denori, so I'm asking you the question. So it's working as the middleman between the user and hardware by providing the user interface. And it hides the internal complexity of the hardware components. What is the meaning of that? So first answer me, how you say, what will happen when you save a file? What will happen when you save a file?
Okay.
It is being
Yes? Denori?
it is being saved in the disk.
So yes, what is the process? What is the process? Okay, that is not an easy thing, right? So if you have done, so let me show how it is happening in the hard disk. So here, so let me show. Okay, so this shows how complex the hardware is. This shows the how complex the hardware is. When you save a file, it will simply go to this disk. This is called the hardware. I think this will remind you a small cartoon. That is the cartoon. I cannot remember the name again. Stone. I cannot remember the cartoon. What is that?
Excuse me, sir, are you telling of Flintstones?
So what is the English name of this one?
The Flintstones.
Sorry?
The
Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Flintstones, yeah, Flintstones. So in Flintstones, you know, bird playing music.
Yes, sir, I have watched that.
All right. Okay. So I think you have seen this part, how the bird is playing music. Yeah. So this is like all gramophone, right? So this one is rotating. You can see this disc is rotating and bird is basically reading the rotating discs. This is a cartoon, but anyway, this is what actually happens in a disk, right? When your hard disk is rotating, so when your hard disk, this is the bird's, yeah, this is the bird actually, the actuator representing the bird, but this is not bird, but it is read-write head. So when this hard disk is rotating, the read-write head is moving back and forth. By doing that, it will read and write the hard disk. It read and write the files. And what actually happened when you're reading and writing, right? You can see the magnetism. So this is the head. This is the magnetism. And so maybe you can tell, so there are two kinds of magnets. So two kinds of magnetism, south to north and north to south. South to north and north to south magnetism. So I think you have seen the magnets, right? So when this head is like moving through this, so you can represent this using 1 and 0. The magnetism you can represent using 1 and 0. And what will happen in the platter? But what you have happen in the platter? Platter means this one, this surface, this disk. What will happen in the surface when it's moving? When head is moving over the platter, so it magnetizing these using these 1s and 0s. So that is what happened in the hard disk. Have you seen this? When you save a file, have you seen this? Denori?
No, sir.
Right. So is it simple or complex process?
Complex.
Complex
It's a
process.
complex process because it's happening in the disks where you cannot even see that because it is sealed and covered. So there are electronics and machines or mechanics and electronics which help in this to happen. And ultimately file is converted to a binary format or 1s and 0s, and that 1s and 0s are written to the disk platters.
Except when this process is happening, that's when the system will make a sound.
Sorry?
When this process is happening, does the system will make a sound?
So not normally. When you are saving a file, normally system unit will not give a sound. But if your hard disk is too old or if your computer is too old, you can hear a small noise like likewise noise when you are saving a file. But that happens when your computer is too old or your hard disk is too old. That is a sign indicating you, actually, that is a warning sign indicating you that so your hard disk might be damaged in might be damaged in the near future. There is a bad sign. So if you get the
In
sound,
that
our old
happens in-
computers too, I hear that sound when saving
yes,
files.
that is there in all computers. Even I have one computer which is too old. It's a Pentium 3 machine. So which is having like a very old monitor, like CRT monitor and all the past component. Windows 98 is installed there. Still, I have that computer in the working condition, but I can hear that like sound always when something happened in the hard disk, because it's like touching this hard disk is mechanically touching the platter, but that is not good. That might damage the hard disk. Okay, so but you know that this is very complex process. And this is very complex process. Inside hard disk, you have this much of complexity, right? But you cannot see this when you see the interface. When you go to, okay, so for an example, if you are using Word document, so when you're trying to save this file, save as, you will not see such thing. So that is due to this wonderful middleman. It hides the internal complexity and it doesn't show that, because then we will be afraid to use the computer thinking that it has a lot of mechanics and electronics in it. But this wonderful middleman hides everything from us and let us save the file in a calm and quiet way. Understood? That is why, right, that is why we call operating system is a middleman, and it works in between the computer and users by providing the interface. It hides the internal complexity mechanisms of hardware components. In a CD, even CD is this kind of complex mechanism. If you want to write a CD, there's a laser bulb which is burning the CD layers. A laser bulb is burning the CD layers, and that is how data is stored in the CD. In hard disk also, this process is in a pen drive also, there are some kind of electronic processes similar to this. In wires also, these signals are going on as zeros and ones, as voltages. But you cannot see anything because everything is hidden by the middleman, the software. Okay, then, so this is very easy question. I'm not going to actually write the answer for this one. So can you tell me what is this program? This is?
MS-DOS.
MS-DOS means the meaning of MS-DOS?
Microsoft
Microsoft
DOS.
What
Microsoft.
is DOS? DOS?
Microsoft Disk Operating System.
It's Microsoft Disk Operating System. So this name, if you don't know, then only write, otherwise no need to write this. This is Microsoft Disk Operating System. Microsoft Disk Operating System. Microsoft Disk Operating System. This is, you know, this one is Ubuntu Linux. The second C is Ubuntu Linux. What are the other versions of Linux that you have?
Kali Linux.
Oh, that is for hacking. Ubuntu Linux. Okay, anything else other than the Black Kali?
Actually, sir, is it for hacking?
Yeah, it's for hacking. Basically for offensive, not just for hacking, it's called offensive security. Offensive.
Sir, I download the ISO for Kali.
You can install a lot of tools are there in Kali. You can use it as operating system, general operating system. But most of the hacking tools are with Kali.
So even Fedora is Linux.
Yes, Fedora is Linux. Anything else?
Mint Linux.
Mint,
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, Fedora, Mint. Anything else? In Sri Lanka also there's a Linux version. What is that? It is called Hantana Linux. In Sri Lanka also there's a version that is Hantana Linux. You can also compile your own version of Linux because Linux is open source. Anyone can get the recipe. Anyone can get the recipe. What on a recipe? එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. right? Recipe එක ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන හදන විදිය ගන්න පුළුවන්. Then you can recompile a Linux version. Right? You can recompile a Linux version. So then this Ubuntu, Fedora, Ubuntu, Xubuntu, OpenSUSE, Red Hat, CentOS. So those are some famous Linux versions, but there are many Linux versions, right? Not just that, there are many Linux versions. So you can just get, okay, there are some website called ISO Linux. So I cannot remember that.
Can you share a link? Because I went to find ISO, but nothing doesn't work with VirtualBox.
Is it? So let's say file, let's say Untitled index of okay, let's distro watch now. Oh, okay, you can see here Linux like Deepin, Red Hat, Jinx. Likewise, there are different versions of Linux here, right here. So that is distro watch. You can download from that also. And this is another one. You can see several Linux versions: CentOS, Debian, Deepin, Fedora, Ubuntu. What is that? Okay, Gentoo, Kali, Knoppix, Linux Mint, OpenSUSE, and Red Hat. So these are some famous names, right? Ubuntu.
Can you give me the link?
This one.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Sent. Okay, there are some more websites you can get that. Here also, this is another one, and this is another one. This has many versions, no? You can see here, so different other operating systems are also there. So FreeBSD, OpenBSD, and so some other NetBSD, some other versions are also there in this side. Okay, so now you know there are a lot of Linux versions. So a lot of operating system types are there in the market. So this is Fedora, this is Android, this is what?
Macintosh.
iOS.
This is iOS, right?
iOS.
Yes, iOS and macOS, it is same or different?
Different. macOS for
Different.
computers, iOS for phones.
Yes, iOS basically come from mobile phones and macOS for. So, but this one, I don't prefer this answer. But anyways, this is the suitable answer because no other answer is there. But iOS for mobile phones, macOS is different one that is coming for computers or PCs.
Excuse me, sir. Does Android make a operating system for computers?
No, Android is also for mobiles. Android is also for mobiles. But I don't know whether they have, but as per my knowledge, it's for mobiles. But you can install that in a computer. iOS also, you can install that in a computer. Because there are virtualized environments. In virtual machines, you can install iOS, Android in computers too. But normally those are designed for mobile phones. Okay, the next one. So you can see these interfaces. This is Ubuntu operating system. And the next one is iOS. So this is actually installed inside a virtual environment. And this is so this BlackBerry operating system. And this is a Fedora operating system. This is Windows, macOS. This is Android, again in the virtual environment. Right. So then the activity 2.2. Okay, so one more thing that I would like to ask. So, what these IoT devices, do they have operating systems?
The IoT.
IoT, Internet of Things. There are some small computers, very small scale computers in IoT. So you have that in grade 8 and 9. So you have a special practical there, then we will be sending you special kit, Arduino kit for that. And so these are the computers, basically. These are the small computers. I think you have not seen this, but you can just buy one if you want. That is available in Sri Lanka even. Raspberry. So let's see if I fall. Raspberry. So Raspberry is this kind of, this is the computer. This is a computer. This is called single board computer. In one board, this is called single board computer. Single board computer means everything is there in a single board. So you know, hard disk of this computer is a memory card. So this computer has a hard disk, that is micro SD memory card. Right? So you can do a lot of things with this kind of board. This can be kept in a palm, and only you need to provide only 5 voltage to this to work. That can be even provided by using a battery. You can use a general battery to provide voltage to this one, or you can even use USB power to turn on this computer. So anyone of you have used or seen this in your school here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's like a circuit. It's like a circuit. The cost will be around, but this is quite costly, right? So not much, but this will be cost you around 13,000-14,000. So this is small, but it will cost somewhat, right? It's like 13,000-14,000 cost. You can, I think, buy this from Daras, I guess. Search Raspberry. This is only the case, and you can see here this one is what is the cost of this? It's 10,000, no? It's 10,000. You have a quad-core processor, 1.4 gigahertz dual band computer, and model B plus. This is without the, I think, without the hard disk or without the memory card. Yeah, it's come without the memory card, and cost you around 10,000. But you can get some work done, right? So why I am telling, because there's a operating system coming with this one. Right? This is here. This one is costlier than the earlier version, 16,000. This is Raspberry Pi, 4 GB RAM. RAM is also there in this computer, and that is quad-core processor. That is it. This is the computer. You can connect this to a desktop, or you can connect this to a screen and start working. Make a monitor plug kala වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්. This is actually computer. You can connect the mouse, you can connect the keyboard. Right here you can see in this image. You can connect mouse, keyboard, peripherals. Here. Keyboard, mouse, and other peripherals you can connect. You can connect a monitor, right, and start working with this kind of computer. This is very small. You can keep it in your pocket. Right. These computers are having operating system called Raspbian. So very small operating system called Raspbian. It's not Saspian, Raspbian. Raspbian is a operating system used by this Raspberry Pi computers. This is the operating system. It's a very lightweight Linux version. This is the operating system used by those computers. Or you can put Windows